Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
जय
Hare.
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। Hare Krishna everyone. So today is 8th of February. It is Thursday and it is Madhava Masa or Magha Masa, Krishna Paksham Chaturdasi Tithi. So no Vaishnava events today. We shall move on to Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj after appreciating his questions, and he is speaking about comparing to the materialistic people. So what are the activities that Gruhamedis do? So saying that they are always blind to the Atma Tattvam and they engage their time in the sleeping and sex indulgence and economic development and maintaining the families. Likewise, he has been speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. श्रोतव्यादीनि राजेन्द्र नृणां सन्ति सहस्रशः अपसिताम् आत्मतत्त्वं गृहेषु गृहमेदिनाम् अपसिताम् आत्मतत्त्वं they do not see आत्मतत्त्व they are गृहमेदीस् निद्रया ह्रियते नक्तं व्यवायेन च वावयः दिवा च अर्ध ईहय राजन् कुटुम्बभरणेन वा they spend all the time in the night for sleeping and in sex indulgence. In the daytime, Adda Ihaya Rajan for economic development, Kutumba Bharanenava and family maintenance. And then further, Sukadeva Goswami is saying that he thinks that completely attachment to his children, his wife, so many other related things. And then he thinks that they're all his soldiers, they are going to protect him because he's attached to all these wife, children, and like cats, dogs, and everyone, like horses, everything attached to the home. He thinks that they are they're his soldiers. And then even though he's seeing the destruction of his fathers, forefathers, and grandfathers, everyone they have died. And also so many he's seeing every day to day, many people are dying. But still he doesn't see for himself. So likewise Sukadeva Goswami is saying. So we are in the second canto, chapter 1, verse number 4. देहापत्यकलत्रादिषु आत्मसैन्येषु असत्स्वपि तेषां प्रमुक्तो निधनं पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति देह apatya and so the relating to deha, the body, apatya, this is children, kalatra, wife, adishu, and all related things. They children and wife and all related things. Deha apatya kalatradishu atma sainyeshu asaswapi atma sainyeshu. This is um, atma own fighting soldiers. Atma sainyeshu asaswapi, they are fallible ones. Even they are also going to die. They cannot protect him from the death. Atma Sainyeshu Asat Swapi Asatsu, that is, it is not the right thing. It is the fallible one. Atma Sainyeshu Asat Swapi Tesham Pramatto, and they are being attached, too much attached. Tesham Pramatto Nidanam Pasyan, and he has seen that so many of his fathers and grandfathers they have Nidanam, they were distracted. Nidanam pashin api na pasyati. Still, although he has seen those things, na pasyati, he doesn't see it for himself. Pasyannapi na pasyati. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, देह अपत्य कलत्रादिषु आत्मसैन्येषु असस्वपि तेषां प्रमत्तो निधनं पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति. See how blind that is. That's why he is called apasitam atmatattvam. People are blind to the atmatattva. So translation for this verse: persons devoid of atmatattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This material world is called the world of death. Every living being, beginning from Brahma, whose duration of life is some thousands of millions of years, down to the germs who live for a few seconds only, is struggling for existence. Therefore, this life is a sort of fight with material nature, which imposes death upon all. In the human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding of this great struggle for existence. But being too attached to family members, society, country, etc., he wants to win over the invincible material nature by the aid of bodily strength, children, wife, relatives, etc. Although he is sufficiently experienced in the matter by dint of past experience and previous examples of his deceased predecessors, he does not see that the so called fighting soldiers, like the children, relatives, society members, and countrymen, are all fallible in the great struggle. One should examine the fact that his father or his father's father has already died, and that he himself is therefore also sure to die, and similarly his children, and who are the would be fathers of their children, will also die in due course. No one will survive in this struggle with material nature. The history of human society definitely proves it. Yet, the foolish people will suggest that in the future they will be able to live perpetually with the help of material science. This poor fund of knowledge exhibited by human society is certainly misleading, and it is all due to the ignoring constitution of the living soul. This material world exists only as a dream due to our attachment to it. Otherwise, the living soul is always different from the material nature. The great ocean of material nature is tossing with the waves of time, and the so called living conditions are something like foaming bubbles, which appear before us as bodily self, wife, children, society, countrymen, etc. Due to lack of knowledge of self, we become victimized by the force of ignorance and thus spoil the valuable energy of human life in vain search after permanent living conditions, which are impossible in this material world. Our friends, relatives, and so called wives and children are not only fallible but also bewildered by the outward glamour of material existence. As such, they cannot save us. Still, we think that we are safe within the orbit of family, society, or country. The whole materialistic advancement of human civilization is like the decoration of a dead body. Everyone is a dead body, flapping only for a few days. And yet, all the energy of human life is being wasted in the decoration of this dead body. Sukadeva Goswami is pointing out the duty of the human being after showing the actual position of bewildered human activities. Persons who are devoid of the knowledge of Atma Tattva are misguided, but those who are devotees of the Lord and have perfect realization of transcendental, transcendental knowledge are not bewildered. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a very purport, very beautiful purport. It is really giving reflections in everyone's life. This is only who will see it? Only the devotees of the Lord, they will see it. And the transcendentalists, they see it. But people who are attached to the bodily things, they cannot see it. Dehasya sanubandhasya dhurmatihi. And they think that even dehasya sanubandhasya dhurmatihi and body and all related things, they think that it is permanent. Adhruvani, they are adhruvani dehasya sanubandhasya dhurmatihi. Dhruvani manyate mohan. Kurukshetra vasunicha, so many things. They're being again and again. So there is a person already, he is very healthy and happy, and all the time he is roaming in the village with a strong, there is no kinds of diseases in his life. But suddenly he is in the mid age, suddenly with heart attack he fall down. No reasons. And then all the family, everyone are lamenting. Today he was a very happy person. After 2 days, there is no person at all. People are suffering. No one can protect, even though the material nature is very strong. But people are seeing it, but they acknowledge it at that moment, and then once again they become due to the attachment, because pramatta, tesham pramatto, they again they're bewildered and engaging in the addai hayarajan, kutumba bharanenava, again engaging in themselves without understanding the transcendental knowledge or atma tattva. They depend on Sainyeshu asaswapi, just only the body, children, and wife, and everyone else, and bank balances, nice house. They think that they will protect them. Idam shariram parinamapeshalam patyavashyam sandijajharam. So this is also mentions idam shariram parinamapeshalam patyavashyam sandijajharam. This body is going to die. Niramayam Krishna Rasayanam Pibha. So, Kim Aushadaihi Klishate Modadharmati. What medicine is there for the body? Niramayam Krishna Rasayanam Pibha. Every moment you drink the nectar of Krishna. That is the verdict of the Shastras. So this body is going to die. Kshanabhanguram. Sariram Kshanabhanguram. So many people says this one. So here Prabhupada is explaining all these things in this one. Material, it is very difficult to counteract this material nature. It bewilders. And on top of that, one is material nature, and the another side is the Kali. So many influences, and people and family and friends, they come with so many other things, different conceptions. Everyone has got without proper knowledge. They will try to influence the devotees also. But devotees, they are not bewildered. So likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is saying about the material advancement of human civilization, which is blind. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. देहापत्य कलत्रादिषु आत्मसैन्येषु असस्वपि तेषां प्रमत्तो निधनं पश्यन्नपि न पश्यति. Okay, we shall move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Most beautiful reminder of what we are about. It's so, this passage has really opened my eyes a bit bigger because it says that we should take notice of the fathers and the forefathers all have gone. They've gone, they disappear. This body is nothing. And then we should have the mentality where we can actually go around thinking that even the children we produce, we think we own, they also have to go. So that is a good way of thinking and carrying around. This verse is amazing. It reminds us who we are and what we should be, and not be pushing for, with the crowd and go with the glitter and glams and thinking this body is so special. So important, this. And that's why it's so important to read these books, because they remind you all the time. And because we get lost in the material world every day, we're running and we're busy. And when you could just live simply and ordinary, and then you will receive the most blissful way of life. Beautiful. Thank you very much for this. We are fools, really. We're foolish people going around in a daze. It's like a living, a living dream, a real dream put in action.
Yes, thank you, Mataji, for reflecting on these points. This is everything is factual, and we are seeing
the real truth. Yes, yeah.
And when we leave this body, we don't take anything. We don't take home. We don't take children's or body or what to speak of anything else. We don't take even body also. And what we take, the consciousness only. So that is why we chant all the time. Niramayam Krishna Rasayanam paper. Drink, here. Shrunutam Sukataha Krishnaha Punya Shravani Kirtanaha Rujjantastu Hyabhadrani Vidinoti Suhrutatam. This is keep drinking, and then we will be completely free from all this contamination. We cannot defeat this material nature. It is very strong. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so we shall move on to the Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Bhagavan, January 2, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any devotees to read this letter? It's small only.
Do I have a go, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Bhagavan Das, please accept my blessings and offer the same to all the devotees of Detroit. While I was in Boston, you presented me a set of original Sanskrit Srimad Bhagavatam with your affectionate letter, signed by all the devotees. It was a great opportunity in the Boston temple that I enjoyed the days very much with your company. Please try to develop your center likewise. In Boston, always 50 to hundreds of devotees chanting, dancing, and engaged in Krishna consciousness business. This is the aim of our Krishna consciousness movement. We do not want stopping the natural instincts of the living entities. We simply want them to be dovetailed in Krishna service. Your country is fortunate enough by the grace of Goddess of Fortune. Goddess of Fortune, or Lakshmi Devi, is eternally engaged in service of the Lord. Therefore, by the grace of Goddess of Fortune, Goddess of Fortune, which is bestowed upon the American people, may be fully engaged in Krishna service. That will be a finishing touch to the material advancement. If people do not take to Krishna and simply want to utilize the Goddess of Fortune for sense gratification, as it was the policy of the demons like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu, then the finishing touch will certainly accumulate in releasing the nuclear weapon, exactly like Ravana was vanquished by such policy. I have every hope on you, as well as your wife and associates. Please organize your center in such a way that the local people may take advantage of the great boon that we want to give them. In your previous letter, you proposed to get some tapes from me for transcription. It is a good proposal. In this connection, I may inquire if you have got a nice dictaphone, and if any among yourselves, you can edit nicely. So, on hearing from you on this point, I shall do the needful. Hope you are all doing well. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Hari
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Well, Prabhupada is saying that he's pleased that the community has sent him the Srimad Bhagavatam in Sanskrit, a set, and that and because they all signed it, which was brilliant, and he said it was a great opportunity to visit and be in his company. So what he's doing is advising that he would be pleased to have him develop the center he's in and engage the community in Krishna consciousness. So he thinks he's got the quality and he should be propagating this movement. And so provide the people with what we are meant to be doing, which is our living natural instinct of living, which is Krishna consciousness. And he mentioned about the fortune, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She's engaged in serving the Lord. So it's a good example of how we can actually follow her footstep and engage in this service. So he's saying something about the demons. He gives some example about the demons, how they actually didn't follow the Krishna conscious policy, and so they suffered the consequences. I can only pick out the every hope. And he says about cooperation with your relationships and your community, and good association can develop great advantage in and giving them this service that is recommended. And he said about, he recognized that he's interested in a recording from Prabhupada about the transcription. And so Prabhupada was thinking it's a good idea and he will look into it. But he wants to make some inquiries about how he can and set it up with the right equipment. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Nicely explained. Any other points, dear devotees, you want to make? So
again, he pointed out again about the American people that is something he wanted to do a lot of changes in that community because they were lost.
Okay, Mataji. So this is, all the goddess of fortune needs to be always at the service of Krishna. So all the money must be spent there. Like by examples of six Goswamis and all the devotees, they have spent all their wealth only for constructing temples and glorifying the Lord. That's all. When we glorify the Lord, we'll feel so much of blissful and happiness, and our life will be perfect and successful. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, today evening at 8 o'clock, we have got Krishna Katha. That's all. I don't have any special updates. And dear devotees, if you have got any further updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, or if there are any events are going on you want to share, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि
Koti
की
Vaishnava ki
जय।
jai.
प्रभुपाद
Ki jai.
Have a Krishna consciously, everyone. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
चैतन्य प्रभु
Chaitanya.
नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
चैतन्य प्रभु
Chaitanya.
नित्यानंद